Hello, busy professionals, and welcome to episode 2 of K.T.B.R. in the days of COVID-19. And if you haven't seen episode 1, then you're wondering, what is K.T.B.R.? K.T.B.R. stands for Keep the Business Running. Keep the business running. In today's episode, I just want to go over some of my top tips, since I have been leading teams remotely for over a decade to implement change management on major corporate business initiatives. And I have some top tips for actually leading the meeting and participating in the meeting if you are new to working remotely. So I just have a couple of little items here. I put on a few notes just so I don't forget. And number 1, this is just good meeting practice across the board, is send an agenda when you send a meeting invite, if you are the meeting leader, so that everyone knows what needs to happen in the meeting. And by all means, ask people to read through the agenda and any accompanying documentation that you have prior to the meeting. Ground rules, number 2, tip 2. Ground rules are a must, particularly with people working at home. We're out of our normal environment if you're mostly accustomed to working in the office. So ground rules are a must. Get rid of distractions, find a quiet spot, and most importantly, put yourself on mute. Learn how to mute and unmute. And as a meeting leader, you may need to know how to mute and unmute everyone in the group. And because this is an unusual situation with the coronavirus, and we don't know how long it's going to last, tip 3 is, unless you have a large meeting group, if it's a smaller meeting group, take a couple of minutes and just kind of check in with everyone. How you doing? What funny thing happened today? Just to kind of bring people back to the group. And tip 4, as this is for you all leading meetings, make sure you know your conferencing platform, and you know how to use the technology, mute, unmute. If you have to retrieve people from the lobby of the meeting, make sure you know how to do that. And considering this is tip 5, considering that some people are not accustomed to remote work, make sure you're familiar with any engagement tools your conference platform has. Use polls. Just to keep people engaged, you can send out a quick poll. Use the whiteboard. Make sure you know how to present your documentation, your PowerPoints, your Excels, whatever you're using. So make sure that you know how to utilize and do use some of the bells and whistles, because it keeps people engaged. And last tip, always follow up the meeting with meeting notes. Whether you do it via email, you do it via something like Slack, you have someplace shared cloud storage for documentation, make sure you send out follow-up meeting notes that covers action items, and really also what are you going to do in the next coming meeting so people can prepare. So I hope this was helpful. And I will see you in episode 3 of K.T.B.R. in the days of COVID-19. In the meantime, stay safe, everyone. I am the Change Whisperer.